night, Vancouver got off to a 1-0 lead. The score was quickly tied at 2, though. Keith Acton broke the tie later for the Flyers. After only one period, the score was 5-3 in favor of the Flyers. Action slowed down through the rest of the game, though. However, the Flyers managed to hang tough until the end, and they tied Vancouver at 7. Time to check the forecast for today. AccuWeather says sunny out there, not bad, kind of chilly, 26 degrees, but a nice afternoon for you. Sunny and a high of 48 degrees on this Thursday. And that's it for now. We'll have another Action News update coming up for you at 8:25. Until then, I'm Monica Malpass. Have a good Thursday.
It was only 11 weeks ago. The courageous staff of The Donahue Show came out from behind the cameras, took center stage, and set their fitness goals in front of a national audience. They were going to trim down and shape up. Now, the moment of truth, they're back. Who succeeded? Who failed? Who's still flabby? Phil and his staff shapes up on the next Donahue.
Be sure to watch Donahue, 9 a.m. today.
Looking for a way to make a better steak? Try something that actually makes the steak better. A 20-minute marinade in Lee & Perrins, Worcestershire. That's better.
Get a jump on spring by ordering daffodils for your organization from the American Cancer Society. In Philadelphia, call 665-2901. Watch Captain Noah and his Magical Ark, 7:30 a.m. Saturday.
Jefferson. This is the All Dunbar Reunion in Lynchburg, Virginia. Good morning, America!
Oh, good morning, everyone. That's where I used to work, Dunbar High School, great institution down there. Having a reunion, apparently. Nice to have you with us this morning. I'm Charles Gibson.
And Virginia is also my home state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Spencer Christian.
I'm getting him back.
It's not a boring state, despite the fact that I'm out of it now. I'm filling in for Joan, who's a little under the weather today.
Indeed she is.
Yes, she is.
And therefore, we had to go, boy, we had to look around so hard to find somebody.
We searched far and wide, spanned the globe.
That's really, and then nobody would say yes, so we went over to the weather board and pulled him in.
Yeah, here I am.
Coming up this morning, we're going to be talking about medical malpractice. That subject has ignited a debate with some pretty powerful sparks, but both doctors and lawyers have come to realize that the present system of malpractice liability is in dire need of repair. And this morning, our legal editor, Arthur Miller, and our medical editor, Dr. Tim Johnson, are going to be here to respond to some new proposals for changing the medical malpractice system.
Also ahead this morning, actor Ron Silver has come a long way since he first appeared on the television hit comedy series Rhoda. He's emerged as a star on Broadway and in a flurry of movies, and now he's come back to television. Will success spoil Ron Silver? We'll ask him that. And now a man who is totally unspoiled by his meteoric rise to the pinnacle of his profession, Mike Snyder. Schneider has the news. I'll fix my tongue in the next half hour.
Cheer up, guys. We only have 90 minutes to go. It is time for the news right now, and a big story has been breaking overnight from the West Coast. A state of emergency has now been declared in an area 40 miles east of Los Angeles. Residents there are now bracing for still more aftershocks from yesterday's earthquake. It's a 5.5 on the Richter scale. At least 3 people were hurt, windows were shattered, and roads were blocked by boulders that fell all over the place out there. Washington Mayor Marion Barry was in court yesterday. His attorneys entered a not guilty plea to cocaine and perjury charges. It was Mayor Barry's first trip back to Washington since he began substance abuse back in January. The treatment center in Florida and then in South Carolina. Barry's trial is now set to begin on June the 4th. Being told this morning that no criminal charges against Father Bruce Ritter will be filed. He's the founder of the Covenant House Shelters. He resigned amid allegations of financial improprieties and allegations of homosexual relationships. The DA's office now says some of the financial dealings were questionable, but no charges will be filed. And they say they don't have the authority to investigate the father's sexual conduct. They'll let the church do that. Update now on a horrible story out of Texas we told you about. The 5-year-old boy who was given a bottle of bourbon and told to drink it like a man. He has now died, and police have charged 21-year-old Anthony Jimerson, a guest at the party at the boy's house, with his death. Little Raymond Griffin hung on for 3 days, and he died yesterday after doctors finally disconnected his respirator. and a detective working on this case said he cried like it was his own son. An investigation in the sports world to tell you about. ABC's Armin Katajian reported last night that several former North Carolina State basketball players are now under investigation for point shaving. Officials looking closely at the March 1988 game between North Carolina State and Wake Forest, the game you're watching right here. A game North Carolina State was expected to win easily, but won by only 4 points. One of the 4 ex-players accused of shaving points admitted to ABC News that he, in fact, did so. The subject now is food, and after allowing food makers to claim their products do just about everything from lower cholesterol to prevent cancer for the past 10 years, the Food and Drug Administration is now promising a crackdown on what can and cannot be said. Richard Davies reports.
Supermarket shelves are covered with them, health claims on food labels. But do they help shoppers understand what's inside?
This one is saying something and this one is saying another thing. So sometimes I'm so confused, I don't know what to do.
1 week you'll come through and you look at a claim on the package, you say low cholesterol and so forth, and then you read in the paper the following day that it doesn't make any difference.
But the Food and Drug Administration's new rules should make a difference. Health claims would be confined to areas where there's widespread agreement among nutritionists. Health-related statements would have to be backed up with government-approved summaries of scientific studies printed on the box.
In order to eliminate some of the misleading claims that are already out there, FDA is going to have to implement this new rule quickly by putting some teeth into it and reviewing the scientific evidence upon which many existing health claims are based.
Critics say many claims go too far. Take the label on boxes of Total cereal.
I think that this is a perfect example of being misleading. When you read this kind of headline on the front of the package, you have instant health forever.
Not true, says the manufacturer. There's nothing misleading about it.
If you look at the package, it lists out the 7 food recommendations from the Surgeon General, and it talks about how Total can fit into that diet plan.
Surprisingly, several large food companies welcome the FDA's Get Tough attitude, saying one federal standard would cut out unwanted ingredients such as consumer anxiety and confusion. Richard Davies, ABC News, New York.
That's the news. So now let's go back to Spence, see what the weather's like all around the country. Spence?
Okay, Mike, what a map I've got for you this morning. What's not to like on this map? We've got high pressure and control in the northwest. That means mostly clear skies and calm weather. High pressure here in the nation's midsection. That's good, too. High pressure over in the east, mostly calm weather there. Little cold, warm front pushing up against a colder air mass could provide some overriding effect, which means some light snow, maybe up in the northeast. That's not so bad. This is not to like. Frontal system just kind of lingering here in the lower Mississippi Valley and along the Gulf Coast, providing enough shower and thundershower activity to make conditions still soggy in that area from eastern Texas through Louisiana and up into the Tennessee Valley. Heaviest rainfall today will be right here in eastern Texas and Louisiana. Could be a little bit of local flooding because it's still soggy in that area. It's been raining for several days now. Lighter rain reaching up into the Tennessee Valley. Most of the remainder of the nation will have sunny skies. The Northeast, the Great Lakes, right through the plains and out over the Rockies. Spring-like weather will prevail over the far western part of the country, where skies will be generally sunny. Temperatures will warm up into the 70s and 80s over much of California and into the southwest, 50s and 60s all the way up into the northern Rockies, 50s in the northern plains. The only cold spot today, the extreme northern end of New England, where highs will reach only into the 20s. That's a look at the national weather, and here's a look at the weather where you are.
We've got a lovely morning, although it's on the chilly side. We're 26 degrees. It's going to warm up as the day goes along, up to around 48 degrees, 25 degrees tonight, and then mild tomorrow on what looks like the beginning of a lovely weekend, 54 degrees tomorrow.
This weather report has been brought to you by Century 21. It's 37 past the hour. Can we cure the medical malpractice crisis? After this.
Spring is prime home selling season because there are more buyers in the market, more reasons than ever to put your trust in the Century 21 system. We have access to more buyers through our referral network of 6,000 offices nationwide. The exclusive Action Warranty puts a promise of service in writing. And year in, year out, no one sells more homes. So if you're ready to sell, now's the time to call your local Century 21 office.
Century 21! You know, when I was younger, I always thought, my gosh, I can't even imagine being 30 years old. And then suddenly I was 30. And you get these little wrinkles and dry skin. And I had this revelation. I thought, you know, it's about time for me to start paying more attention to my face, my skin.
Dove contains 1/4 moisturizing cream. It won't dry your face like soap.
After using Dove, my face doesn't feel as dry. It feels softer. I wish I'd started using Dove a long time ago. You know, because you just don't realize how quickly time passes.
Hello, I'm Mike Levin, president of Days Inns, with a business proposition for you. Say you're traveling, concerned about expense, but still want a great room. What do? You stay at Days. Here you'll find big, clean, comfortable rooms, good restaurants, relaxing lounges, and no high prices. It's simple. If you want the best hotel value, you'll stay at Days. If you don't, you won't.
Spend a night at Days and wake up to the best hotel value in the world.
It is now 38 minutes after 7. One of the single most contentious issues in American medicine today, and indeed maybe in America's society, is medical malpractice and what to do about it. Well, today's issue of the New England Journal of Medicine considers the medical and legal issues of malpractice liability in great depth and makes a controversial suggestion for reforming the system. Getting out of their roles here as our medical and legal editors are Dr. Tim Johnson and Arthur Miller, who are joining us from wpvi-tv in Boston to discuss the implications of the proposal on both their professions. Gentlemen, good to see you.
Thank you.
And Tim, let me start with you because you have talked so much on this broadcast about medical malpractice, about the fact that doctors practice defensive medicine, maybe perform more tests than are necessary, avoid treatments in some cases because they're worried about malpractice. And indeed, you've even said a lot of doctors are getting out of the business because they're so worried about malpractice. So what is the journal proposing in terms of a solution?
Well, the journal reviews, first of all, the real problems with the present system, that it's unfair, that only a very small percent of people injured by medical care, whether it's negligent or not, get any kind of compensation, that it's untimely, these cases drag out for years in court, that it's very inefficient, and less than 50% of the dollars of premiums that doctors pay actually get to the patients. Most of it goes to the legal and insurance industries. Ironically, this morning there is a major study out about New York State that confirms all of these points. So there are a lot of problems. The solution proposed by the article is to basically go to an administrative no-fault type of system whereby we avoid all of these emotionally and economically costly forays into the court system and simply compensate people who are injured, whether it's negligent or not. The article cites the long experience in both New Zealand and Sweden where such a system has worked very well for nearly 20 years. And it says, let's get this out of the courts where it's inefficient, unfair, costly, and get it into a system which accomplishes what any system should do. Number one, compensate victims, all victims, fairly. And number two, try to prevent doctors from practicing bad medicine in the first place.
Just a quick question. If you tended to go to no fault, would it lessen the amount of the awards to people? And, I'm sorry.
Yes, it would lessen probably the awards to individual victims. It would not pay enormous sums for so-called pain and suffering. But what the study suggests and what this New York study out today also points out is that the total cost of fairly compensating all victims would be less than the present cost of compensating a few victims in enormous amounts.
All right, Arthur Miller, your personal reaction to this?
My personal reaction is that it's very ironic that the problem is that it's a twofold phenomenon. Not enough people who are hurt by the medical system are being compensated. In a curious way, Charlie, there aren't enough claims. And people who don't really have claims are bringing suits that are causing a great deal of grief to the medical profession, causing them to change the way they practice medicine and indeed to leave certain specialties we've got to have. From the legal side of this, lawyers obviously are very interested in maintaining the traditional courtroom approach to solving all disputes. We have this 200-year-old tradition of jury trial. It's good for Manuel Noriega, it's good for Colonel North, it's good for Leona Helmsley. Why shouldn't it be good for a doctor? Before we trade that in, we've got to make sure that a no-fault system or any modified system would provide a fair hearing before people who are truly impartial, and at the same time would make sure that the massive amount of adverse medical effects, both negligent and non-negligent, are rooted out, that the bad doctors are eliminated from the system.
But Arthur, you know what the critics say, and the critics say, yes, the trial system is good, but most of all, it's good for the lawyers, especially in these medical malpractice cases, because as Tim points out, they're getting a major share of the money.
There's no question about that, and there is tremendous movement within the legal profession and in state legislatures to try and put caps on legal fees. What I think we need here in the legal end of this is to ensure that cases are screened before they're brought, whether they're brought in terms of the courts or brought in terms of a no-fault system. I think the worst damnation of the American legal profession is that lawyers tend to shoot from the hips. They tend to bring cases prematurely. They tend not to screen them themselves. Somebody will have to screen these cases in order to take these burdens off the doctors' backs.
Tim, Arthur raises the question as to whether obviously lawyers would buy onto this system. Would doctors?
Well, I think doctors are very ready to buy into the new system. I mean, their lives are being devastated by this kind of system, often by false claims that turn out to be won in court, but in the meantime, they lose out. I mean, about 80% of all cases ultimately are in favor of the doctor, but they've lost an enormous amount of time, money, and emotional energy. Now, Arthur is very courageously, and we have talked about this as colleagues and as friends, the time has come to do something. He has very courageously suggested what needs to happen in the legal profession. What needs to happen in my profession is that once and for all, doctors are going to have to be willing to get out the bad apples, to come out on the table with those who are practicing bad medicine. And one of the advantages of this system is that if all injuries are now going to be reported and compensated, we will have, for the first time, a systematic rendering of all injuries. We will know where bad medicine is being practiced in a way that we never have before. So yes, the medical profession is going to have to give up something, the legal profession is going to have to give up something, but the people who will benefit will be patients.
Tim Johnson, Arthur Miller, thank you. It is a very interesting new proposal on the table, and I hope we have more further opportunity to talk about it. Thank you both for being with us. It's 44 minutes after the hour, keeping your plants comfortable in winter. Ralph Snodsmith with us after this.
Every second of an asthma attack can feel like an eternity. That's why there's Primatene Mist. Primatene opens clogged breathing tubes, restores free breathing in as fast as 15 seconds. So you're breathing easy in practically no time. Primatene Mist, the fastest type relief known. And for hours of relief, Primatene tablets with the asthma reliever doctors recommend most.
Smells good. Like a Carolina pine forest. That's Lysol Pine Action. I cleaned this morning. It disinfects and works fast. But the scent lasts for hours.
It's nice, but how'd they get a pine forest in there?
Lysol Pine Action. The clean of pine every time.
Dull tiles will clear up when you put on a shining face. Your bathroom will cheer up when you put on a shining face.
Want clean that really shines? Lysol Basin Tub and Tile Cleaner lifts soap scum, disinfects too.
It's like sunshine.
Lysol Basin Tub and Tile Cleaner.
Put on a shining face.
Oh, what people do to clean tough stains from under the rim. 'Cause for some bowl cleaners, that's a tough reach. But not for Lysol Toilet Bowl Cleaner. Its angle neck easily goes under the rim to wipe out tough stains and germs. So look, all you need is Lysol Toilet Bowl Cleaner, the heavyweight with a powerful new angle on cleaning.
Sears knows how to get me in their store. They use their buying power to outdo competition. Sears buyers negotiated over 100 big volume purchases for this month, and Sears isn't keeping the savings. They're passing it on to us. When Sears buys more, we pay less.
Sears Great Buying Power Specials. We challenged our buyers to find the best buys possible, and they responded with 140 great items, like these one-piece Terry Sleep and Play suits for just $5.88. This month only at Sears.
It's 47 past the hour. If you need a humidifier this time of year, you know how dry winter can be. But your plants may need the same kind of care. Gardening editor Ralph Snodsmith has some tips on how to keep your houseplants from singing "How Dry I Am."
Everyone knows that the Sahara Desert is inhospitable to plant life. But what about our homes in winter? The colder than usual weather experienced in many parts of the U.S. recently has created an environment in our homes that's just as dry. With humidity at 5% or less, our indoor plants are none too happy. Lack of humidity causes brown edges on ivy plants, smaller leaves on pothos, and brown tips on spider plant leaves. You could mist a plant, but the results of a single application are so temporary that you'd have to do it many times a day. The best solution is to provide moisture for your plants on a 24-hour basis. Humidifiers are the most efficient way to increase humidity. Just be sure to properly clean and care for them. A whistling tea kettle or a pot of water on the wood stove will also add moisture to the air. Grouping plants will increase humidity in a given area because the plants give off moisture from both their leaves and the soil. Or how about making a humidity tray from a baking dish with deep sides? Just put a layer of washed gravel or sand in the bottom and then fill the container with water to the top edge of the material. Set the plant on top of the gravel, making sure the pot doesn't sit in the water. The water evaporates from the container and increases the humidity directly around the plant. If your home is really lacking humidity, you may need to add water a couple of times a day. Plants that really suffer from dry air, like the Boston fern, can be put in a clear plastic dry cleaning bag. Sealed up, and it makes a private little greenhouse. Nice and humid. And while your plants might prefer conditions more like a tropical rainforest, they'll manage just fine with the increased humidity you're able to provide.
So when it comes to plants, the wet look is in. It's 49 past the hour. Actor Ron Silver after this.
All you wanted to know about the other woman, the one who's not Mrs. Trump, in this week's People's Special Peek at Marla Maples, the Georgia peach and the juiciest scandal around, and so much more. This week, Trump Wars Part 2. People, that's what we're all about.
Why do things taste so good? Why do things taste so good? I'm telling you why. NutraSweet is why. Everything good tastes so good.
Ever think of shrimp for lunch? Then think Red Lobster for golden fried shrimp, crunchy popcorn shrimp, and sizzling scampi, all on one plate for just $4.95. Served in 15 minutes guaranteed, or it's free. The Lunch Shrimp Trio, now at Red Lobster.
Today, over 300,000 people have discovered what the PC was invented for. They've discovered Prodigy, a service that offers them hundreds of practical uses, hundreds of things to enjoy. Connect Prodigy to your computer and you can get stock quotes almost as fast as a broker. Play educational games, get sports scores faster than on TV. Shop at home. Discover all you can do for just $9.95 a month on Prodigy. See it today at a dealer near you.
If you need baby or teenage furniture, Carl's is the only place to go, because Carl's has the best selection of baby furniture in the world, which is perfect. Why? Because you have the best baby in the world. And Carl's has furniture that would please any teenager. They have so much to choose from. Of course, Carl's will take the time to help you make the right selection. And look at that smile on Uncle Alan's face. He knows you'll love his prices.
It is now 9 minutes before 8, and Ron Silver is with us, a versatile actor who is now on big screens in the critically acclaimed Enemies: A Love Story, playing a Holocaust survivor, and on small screens in the HBO movie Fellow Traveler, playing a McCarthy-era screenwriter who barely survives the shock when his script is censored by his studio.
Studio directive, and I quote, "Don't smear the successful man. Don't smear the businessman. Don't write about the common man. Don't write about the little people."
No.
What are you write about?
What, they blacklisted the Munchkins now?
Come on, stop it, Morty. Listen, what the hell am I... No, don't you oi me, Morty, okay? Listen to this. Little and common are un-American kind of words. Give the world an American kind of hero. Who are these people?
What is there, an echo in here?
That was Hart Bachner with Ron Silver, but it is Ron Silver who is with us this morning, and it's nice to have you here.
Nice to be here, Charlie.
This is a period of time about which a lot of people don't remember much, but there were a lot of people in the entertainment business who were really, in effect, driven out at that period.
Yeah, it went beyond the entertainment business, obviously, but the propaganda value
zeroing in on people in the entertainment business served the Washington community very well, because it got them a lot of attention, a lot of press, and it was an obvious way.
People got accused without trial, without evidence. They were simply blacklisted.
They didn't violate any laws. There were no laws that were violated. It was for an affiliation, a political affiliation. It was for what they believed. And it was a very dangerous time in our country, and it hasn't been examined, you're right.
Or in some instances, an affiliation with somebody who was affiliated with somebody who was affiliated with. I mean, it really became guilt by association.
Hence the title in the HBO movie, Fellow Traveler. These were people that were not necessarily members of the Communist Party or anything like that, but it was guilt by association. But you know, it's not just 40 years ago. You have to remain vigilant all the time. There are things happening in this country today, you know, with this national endowment funding that's coming up in Washington. There are people here in this country, ideologues and senses, that would like to impose their views on the rest of the people and tell them what is permissible, what is not permissible.
Well, it's interesting you raised that. I was going to ask you if you see parallels today.
Well, sure.
I mean, you know, there's you can get into the Andy Rooney case that's going on right now. That's another network and another issue. But there's a lot of question of whether or not, how far free speech exists in a lot of areas.
I think it's a legitimate question, obviously, but the parallels are not exactly the same. The analogies would be too facile and not really accurate, I think, to say that there's a blacklist or anything like that. But there are people in this country that would like to tell other people what lyrics to listen to, what to buy, and this and that. And if they don't pass a law doing that, what they do is they intimidate, so there's some self-censorship, and artistically that's not good for the country.
You're involved politically in some areas. When people come on this program, people who are have some reputation in show business, and espouse a cause, we always hear from viewers who say, why is that so-and-so on talking about such and such an issue? He's an actor, he's not an activist, he's not a whatever. Do you find resentment against people in this business for doing that?
I think to an extent, and I think some of it is very justified, because a lot of people in our business, you know, I have a group, I don't have a group, but a group of us have a group called the Creative Coalition, which is a group of people in the arts and entertainment industry that is politically involved on a permanent basis. I think it's important that actors and celebrities and artists get involved, because they can frame an issue and they can speak to people in a way that politicians cannot. We also have no constituency in which we have to be responsible for, so we can tell people the truth as we see it, perceive it, which is okay, because you don't hear that from politicians, because they're so worried about their negatives. In the poll, they'll accommodate their views and beliefs for that. What I think people are right about, and being frustrated about that, is that quite often actors or people in the public eye get very passionate about something, start to talk about something, and they haven't done the homework, they haven't become informed, they're not terribly knowledgeable about it, and then they move on to the next thing. So what we do is we make sure we know what we're talking about.
Ron Silver, the movie is Fellow Travelers. It is on HBO. They've had an excellent series of movies, and this one just part of a very good series.
Well, that's Michael Fuchs and HBO. You know, they've done Mandela and Sakharov and Wiesenthal.
Very good issues. Ron Silver, thank you.
Charlie,
good luck with
thanks
this. Thank you. It is now 56 minutes after. We'll continue after this.
How you doing, man?
All right.
Mom and Dad asleep?
Yeah, we weren't expecting you until noon.
Let's let them sleep for once. When did you learn to make coffee?
You have been gone for a while.
Nothing brightens your morning like mountain-grown Folgers. Mountain-grown coffee has more enticing aroma and richer flavor than any other kind.
You got a little thick around the neck, man.
You old man.
Yeah, but you guys don't change. You never did let us down, baby.
Let your waking up. There's Folgers in your cup.
You've waited all year long for big savings, not birthday cakes. So right now is the best time to get some cold hard cash from your Toyota dealer. Cold hard cash means option package savings, big savings on cars, and tough Toyota trucks. Factory to dealer incentives could mean bigger savings. But don't wait too long. Cold hard cash ends soon. See your Toyota dealer now. We deliver value today and tomorrow.
Selma, the seamstress for Lansdale Discount House. If you like to sew, you'll love Lansdale Discount House. Thousands of fabrics, linens, yarns at huge discounts. Listen.
It's Lansdale Discount Store-wide clearance sale. Up to 50% off fabrics, low as $1 to $5 a yard. Save on sewing machines, yarn, linens, and home decorating fabrics now.
Lansdale Discount House. They've got savings all sewn up. Come on by, save money. We'll do lunch.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Mountain Grown Folgers Coffee. Folgers, the best part of waking up.
On the next. Through the best of times.
I did some hard years on the playground.
The worst of times.
I feel really lucky to be alive.
For more than a decade, the people of 2020 have shared your concerns, gotten you answers.
I'm an Aquarian myself.
Now, 2020 with Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters takes you into the 90s for all of the times to come.
Join us for 2020.
And then stay tuned for Jim Gardner and the entire Action News team here on Channel 6.
Some people think Dave Roberts actually controls the weather.
Listen, Dave, my niece's wedding's this weekend, so knock off the rain, okay?
Well, check with me at 11.
Oh.
After all, his AccuWeather forecasts on Action News are so accurate.
Hey, Dave! Love this weather, just as you said it would be.
Of course.
It seems he delivers weather just the way you want it.
Hey, Dave, I'd like the weekend special. Extra sunshine, hold the rain.
Hurry and ask for the Figures operator.
Attitudes. It's about the way you think, about the way you look, about the way you feel. We've got your attitudes with a brand new season of serious fun. Join the party with Linda Dano and Dee Kelly. For what's fresh, what's best, and what's happening now, look out for an all-new season of Attitudes. Premiering Monday at 3 p.m. 2 Central, only on Lifetime.
If you're... Touchstone Pictures presents the oddest couple of all, Turner
You're in my house!
and Hooch.
Back off, Hooch!
They've got different
You
friends,
cannot spend the night!
different tastes,
Don't eat the car!
an occasional difference of opinion.
Are you aware of your drooling problem?
But with a little patience and understanding,
Oh, that's it! I'm getting my gun!
they're certain to become attached to one another.
He didn't even break the skin. This dog loves you, boy.
Tom Hanks, Turner and Hooch, rated PG.
Looking for a challenging and rewarding career with an opportunity for advancement? If you live in the city of Camden, possess a high school diploma or a GED, and are between the ages of 18 and 35, you may be eligible to become a Camden police officer. The starting salary is $25,500 with health benefits, paid vacation, sick days, and holidays. Applications are now available at the New Jersey Department of Personnel Office, 518 Market Street, Camden, New Jersey, and the Camden City Police Department, Police Administration Building.